Good morning. In today class we will discuss about heat transfer through radiation. So first question arises, what is thermal radiation? So thermal radiation is transfer of heat energy by electromagnetic wave, and all the object which are available above 0 Kelvin temperature emit thermal radiation, and energy transfer due to this thermal radiation is called thermal heat transfer. This type of heat transfer does not require any medium, and these radiation can travel through vacuum also. So thermal heat transfer can occur through vacuum also. For example, the energy from the sun travel through the vacuum of space before warming the earth. Radiation is the only form of heat transfer that can occur in the absence of any form of medium, that is through a vacuum. Now you can also see in this diagram, so there are different objects. So thermal radius, any object which is available above 0 Kelvin can emit thermal radiations. It may be plant, furniture, wall, people, or anything. So as you can see in this diagram, this is range of electromagnetic radiations, and their this wavelength. So uh, the wavelength vary from cosmic ray to electrical power waves. And this is whole spectrum of electromagnetic radiations. But thermal radiation occur only in certain wavelength range. As you can see, this is thermal radiations. So thermal radiation, the type of electromagnetic radiation that is pertinent to heat transfer is thermal radiation, and the rate of thermal radiation emission increase with increasing temperature. Thermal radiation include the entire visible and infrared radiation, as well as portion of ultraviolet radiation. As you can see, this is range of thermal radiation. So it include infrared radiation, this is visible radiation, and some portion of ultraviolet radiations. The electromagnetic radiation emitted by sun is known as solar radiation, and nearly all of it fall into wavelength band between 0.3 to 3 micrometer. Almost half of solar radiation is light, that is it fall into visible range, with the remaining being ultraviolet and infrared radiation. There are two phenomena for thermal radiation, that one is volumetric phenomena and another one is surface phenomena. So these thermal radiation occur due to movement of electron and atoms. The electron, atom and molecule of all solid, liquid and gases above absolute zero temperature are constantly in motion, and thus radiation is constantly emitted as well as being absorbed or transmitted through the entire volume of matter. That is, the radiation is volumetric phenomena. But in case if the material is an opaque object or non-transparent material, such as metal, wood, rock, etc., the radiation is considered to be a surface phenomena, since the radiation emitted by the interior region can never reach the surface, and the radiation incident on such body is usually absorbed within few micron from the surface. So as you can see, if this is an opaque body, so whatever energy the radiation emitted by interior material will not come out to the surface, and only those atoms which are at the surface emit radiation, and the which come out which release into the environment. So this is a surface phenomena. So for for transparent material, it has volumetric phenomena, but on the other hand, if the material is opaque, then it follows surface phenomena. Now, black body radiation. So first question arise, what is black body? So black body is a hypothetical terms, and it is an ideal body which absorb or emit all the incident radiations, and they are diffuse emitter. So the basic property of black body is it has two characteristics. One is they are perfect emitter and absorber, and second is they are diffuse emitters. Now the amount of radiation energy emitted from a surface at a given wavelength depend on the material of the body and the condition of its surface as well as surface temperature. So these are three parameters which influence amount of radiation. One is the type of material we have. The second is its surface characteristics as well as the surface temperature. Now, black body is perfect emitter and absorber of radiation. That is, a black body absorb all incident radiation regardless of wavelength and direction. Also, emit radiation uniformly in all direction. So no directional distribution. So they are diffuse emitter. So I am repeating this. A black body having two basic characteristic. One is they are perfect emitter and absorber. Second is they are perfect diffuser. It means they emit radiation in all direction uniformly. So as you can see in this diagram, here the thermal radiation emitted in all direction uniformly. So this is an example of black body. But on the other hand, in case of real body, you can see the radiations are not uniformly distributed. So this is real body. So black body is a hypothetical terms which not exist in real life. So one such example of black body is a large cavity with small opening. So what happen in this case? Whatever if any thermal radiation, uh, if we inject any thermal radiation in the large cavity, then they are absorbed by the cavity itself by multiple reflections and absorptions. So this is one example of a body which is near to a black body. These are important definitions which are frequently used in this chapter. One is absorptivity, and it is defined as a fraction of incident radiation that is absorbed by the object. Second is transmittivity, and it is defined as fraction of incident energy that is transmitted through the object. And third one is reflectivity, and it's the ratio of reflected energy to the incident energy. If we denote absorptivity, transmittivity and reflectivity by alpha, this tau and rho, then the sum of absorptivity, transmittivity and reflectivity equal to 1. And the last is emissivity. Emissivity is ratio of emissive power of real body to the emissive power of a black body. This epsilon E upon EB. Now, for example, if you have this body and this is incident radiation, so this if any radiation incident on this body, then some amount of radiation is absorbed by the material, the remaining was reflected by the material, and out of absorbed radiation some amount will be further transmitted if the material is transparent. So this incident radiation will be equal to sum of reflected radiation plus absorbed radiation plus transmitted radiation. So this absorptivity, transmittivity and reflectivity indicates the fraction of energy which is absorbed, transmitted and reflected by the body. And this is emissivity. So whatever energy absorbed by the material will come out from the material due to their depending on their emissivity value, and this emissivity is ratio of E upon EB. Here E is emissive power of real body to that of a black body. For in case of a black body, the emissivity equal to 1. Now again, if we consider any body, uh, total incident radiation on the body is absorbed, partially reflected and partially emitted. Then as per nature of body, it can be classified into four type. Again, as I explained in previous slide, we have incident radiation. Some of energy will absorbed by the material and remaining will be reflected. And if the material is transparent, then it will further transmitted through the main body. And this one is emissivity. Now for example, if we have opaque body, so in case of opaque body, the transmittivity will be 0. So if we our original equation was the summation of absorptivity, transmittivity and reflectivity equal to 1. So for opaque body, the transmittivity will be 0. Then if we put that in the basic equation, then the remaining two terms will be alpha plus rho will equal to 1. Now if we have black body, so in black body the emissivity and absorptivity value equal to 1. So if we put absorptivity equal to 1, so whatever energy incident on that material will be absorbed by the material, and no energy will be reflected and transmitted through the black body. So this tau and rho will be 0 and this alpha will equal to 1. Now the third type of body is white body. White body means they do not absorb any radiation, so whatever energy incident on that material will be reflected back to the environment. So in that case, this reflectivity will be 1 and absorptivity and transmittivity will be 0. Again I am repeating. So if we define what is white body, so the white body is that body which do not absorb or transmit any radiation. So whatever radiation incident on that material will be reflected back. So this reflectivity of white body equal to 1. Now if we have perfect transparent body, so in this case the transmittivity will be equal to 1 and absorptivity and reflectivity will be 0. So for a transparent body, the body will not absorb or reflect any radiation. So whatever radiation incident on that body will be transmitted through that body, and in that case this transmittivity value equal to 1 and absorptivity and reflectivity will be 0. In general, these physical property vary with the wavelength of the incident radiation. For heat transfer calculation, we often assume that the property absorptivity, reflectivity and transmittivity are independent of wavelength. So this is our assumptions. Uh, uh, these property are independent of wavelength of incident radiation. So when this assumptions is made, we say that we have a gray surface. So again, if we define what is gray surface, so gray surface are those surface in which the thermal radiations are independent of wavelength. So in gray body, the thermal radiations are independent. Its property like absorptivity, reflectivity and transmittivity are independent of wavelength. In thermal radiation, we have some popular law. These are listed over here: Planck law, Wien law, Stefan Boltzmann law, and Kirchhoff's law. We will discuss all these law one by one. So first of all, the most popular law is Stefan Boltzmann law. This is developed by Joseph Stefan in 1879. In that, the total radiation emission per unit time and area over all wavelength and in all direction will be, this Eb will be equal to this sigma T raised to power 4, and this sigma is called Stefan Boltzmann constant. So with the help of Stefan Boltzmann, now we can calculate total emissive power over all wavelength in all direction. So this Eb will be called black body emissive power, and this is equal to sigma T raised to power 4. Here sigma is Stefan Boltzmann constant. Its value is 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square per Kelvin power 4. And this T is absolute temperature of the surface in Kelvin. So a student normally make mistake, they take different unit of temperature, but make sure this unit of this temperature is in Kelvin. So in numerical, if other unit is given, so first of all you have to convert that unit in Kelvin, and then you have to put that value in this equation to solve your numerical. And this Eb is emissive power of black body, not real body. This Eb is emissive power of a black body. But if we have a real body, then we also add one quantity, one parameter called emissivity. So in that case, we also multiply this right hand side by the emissivity of that real body. But in case of black body, the emissivity equal to 1, so we are not multiplying that in this equation. Second law is Planck distribution law. So in Stefan Boltzmann law, it calculates total emissive power in all wavelength. But if you are more interested to calculate emissive power at a particular wavelength, then you need this law, Planck distribution law. So the Stefan Boltzmann law gives the total black body emissive power, which is the sum of radiation emitted over all wavelength. Sometimes we are interested in radiation at certain wavelength. So this is again one term, spectral black body emissive power. That is the amount of radiation energy emitted by a black body at a absolute temperature T per unit time, per unit surface area, and per unit wavelength about the wavelength lambda. So using Planck distribution law, we can calculate emissive power of a body of a black body at particular wavelength lambda instead of entire wavelength. Now for vacuum and gas, for vacuum, make sure this is for vacuum and gas. This Eb lambda equal to, Eb lambda means emissive power at wavelength lambda, at particular wavelength, will be equal to C1 upon lambda raised to power 4 exponential of C2 upon lambda T minus 1. Here C1 and C2 are constant and its value is given over here. And now this equation is valid for if we have vacuum or gas, but if the medium is different, then we have to replace this C1 by C1 upon n square for other medium, where n is index of refraction of medium. I am repeating again. This equation is valid when we have medium for radiation transfer is vacuum or gas. But if the medium is different than vacuum or gas, then we have to replace this C1 by C1 upon n square. Here n is index of refraction of the medium. Now if we integrate that equation, integrating this function over all lambda give us equation for Eb, because this Eb lambda is emissive power at a particular wavelength. But if we integrate this equation for entire wavelength, then it will give total emissive power of all wavelength. So that is Ebt, and this will be equal to the emissive power which was calculated using Stefan Boltzmann law. So this is emissive power for a particular wavelength, but if we integrate this equation for entire wavelength, then we can calculate total emissive power that we can also calculate using Stefan-Boltzmann law. So integration of this equation will give the same value which we calculated in Stefan-Boltzmann law. Thus we obtain Stefan-Boltzmann law by integrating Planck's law over all wavelength. Now this is graph between the emissive power at a particular wavelength, and in the x-axis we have wavelength. So as you can see, the radiation is a continuous function of wavelength, as you can see in this graph. Second is, at any specified temperature it increase with wavelength, reach a peak, and then decrease with increasing wavelength. As you can see here, it increase, go to a maximum value, and then its value start decline. The third observation is that radiation increases with temperature. So you can see at these radiations are at 100 Kelvin, 300 Kelvin, 500 Kelvin, 2000 Kelvin. So as temperature increases, the total radiation also increase. And the last observation is, at higher temperature more radiation is at shorter wavelength. So you can see the peak of this value. So when temperature increases, like from 100 Kelvin to 2000 Kelvin, more radiation is at shorter wavelength. So if we match the peak, so here the peak is at this wavelength, but at 2000 Kelvin the peak is at this wavelength. So at higher temperature more radiation is at shorter wavelength. So Planck distribution law, but we are often interested in amount of radiation emitted over some wavelength band only. For example, if we are more interested in amount of radiation an incandescent light bulb emit in the visible wavelength spectrum, then we are in total amount of emitted. As I told you earlier, the thermal radiation include ultraviolet radiation, visible radiation, and third one was also. So if we are interested only in visible spectrum only, then the radiation energy emitted by a black body per unit area over a wavelength band of 0 to lambda. Now, with the help of Planck law, we can calculate thermal radiation at a particular wavelength. But if we want total thermal radiation at a particular band, wavelength band, then we have to integrate that equation on that particular wavelength band. For example, if we are interested only thermal radiations which are in band gap of wavelength between 0 to lambda, then we have to integrate that equation from 0 to lambda only. And if this is entire range of thermal radiation over entire wavelength, then with the help of this integration we can calculate the thermal radiation between 0 to lambda only. Now the next law is wind displacement law. So in Stefan Boltzmann law, you can see we observe this graph. But if we want to calculate peak of this graph at any temperature, like at 1000 Kelvin, this is the peak. And if we want to calculate the peak of this at any particular temperature, then this peak can be calculated with the help of wind displacement law. Peak can be found for different temperature using wind displacement law, that is lambda t will be equal to 2897.5 micrometer Kelvin. And the last law is Kirchhoff's law. For an arbitrary body emitting and absorbing thermal radiation in thermal equilibrium, the emissivity is equal to absorptivity. This emissivity and absorptivity are equal at thermodynamic equilibrium. So make sure this absorptivity equal to emissivity at thermodynamic equilibrium only. So at thermodynamic equilibrium, the emissivity is equal to absorptivity. Again, repeating, for an arbitrary body emitting and absorbing thermal radiation in thermodynamic equilibrium, the emissivity is equal to absorptivity. So this is end of today lecture, and we will continue this means we will continue heat transfer through radiation in our next class also. Thank you.